really stressed recently. Yeah.
Why? Tell me.
I think mainly I'm just worrying about my dissertation because we're doing like collaboration with them, and like our topic is on a lot of it was on modeling, but like on their early phases I've telling them that I was not capable of like doing the art coding because I don't have like any coding background. It's will be like impossible for me to just starting from scratch and just like basically helping the whole coding part because I don't think I'm like capable of the doing it confidently. And so but like a lot of my at the end of like data analysis part was doing for the coding, and I think in the previous meeting they do agree to help me run the models and all that. But I think at this point it's like we're still running for the results, but I don't think if that's working. I don't know if like the modeling is working, and then it kind of to the question of like how can I put that in my dissertation. I don't know if for example we have this hypothesis of like um, fixing this problem, but I don't know if we can't even run the model to generate the results saying like oh yeah we can't we calculate this result out. I don't know like in terms of discussion and for the result. I don't know. I'm just afraid that it doesn't fit the requirement for our dissertations if that's the result I got. Yeah.
Okay. May I ask you, so what was the meaning that because you said that basically the results haven't been generated because it's not working?
Yeah, because from my understanding, it's like um, we're trying to fix the comobility problem, and then we come up with this idea of maybe like we think like the what's affecting the comorbidity counting it's the symptoms that are similar because like the current literature we're looking through like mostly doesn't consider much of like the symptoms happen in to disease, and when you count the utility you may have like double count the same symptoms, which may make the utility not accurate. And in order to fix that, and we thought like oh maybe we can consider just mapping different prevalence of different domains that's affecting quality of life, quality of life to this questionnaire, and then trying to run the utility out from it. But like the problem is like we can't even run the utility out from this, so I can't really say like how can this be improving the comobility part. Yeah, because I think we need to run the number out to say like oh yeah so with this approach we run to this number, and the other disease we run to this number, and how we can calculate that this compared to the published paper to see like oh whether this approach is like a good idea or how can we analyze it. But I think the problem is like at the first stage of like running it we can't really get the results saying like how was the number out, like it's stuck at the model. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can. Okay. That that itself is a project. Is that is not a project where you are giving an answer to some solutions, but that's a project. It's a project where you basically explaining what's the problem that you want to tackle here,
Uh-huh.
then explain find a solution to the project. Then you also explain this is the first part of the solution we have found, but we don't know about the comorbidity issue. This is how we have tried to solve that situation, but that situation couldn't be solved.
Uh-huh.
Then, by looking into literature where other people that have run similar projects or similar studies to the one that you have run, what you have done wrong or inefficient or you didn't take in consideration that made your second part of the project not to work,
Uh-huh.
and how that itself is a project. that is not that you are giving an answer to SEM solutions, or
Sorry, I think the connection was not good.
the question they were asking you, it's a project where you are trying. Am I?
Sorry, I can't
Why is
hear you.
that?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Hear me now? I don't know. I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So it's definitely me. Yes, can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to the camera. Okay.
Okay. So
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, so I have switched off the camera to try to improve the connectivity. I'm really sorry. I don't. Yeah, I can. I don't know what's going on. But you hear what I'm saying, right?
No, I didn't hear the. I only heard the beginning. So, what can I do for this? And because I think the mainly just like the data or result part, I don't know what to show in the results. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, let me disconnect. Let me disconnect and I'll try to join the community.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I'm going to keep the, I'm going to keep the, 1 second, the camera off.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I hope the connection goes a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Sorry for this technical issue. Apologies. So what I was saying earlier is that I believe that you already have a project in hands. It's not the project that was initially thought by SEM Solutions, but it's a new project that is going to definitely help for your dissertation.
Mm-hmm.
How I see your project is structured kind of in, for what I could understand, okay, structured in 3 different parts. So the first part is obviously trying to answer the question that SEM Solution has asked you. So you were saying that actually you have complete certain bit of the analysis where basically you could analyze and put together this information coming from these different sources and these different databases, blah, blah, where basically you could compile the information. But at the time when you wanted to check the comorbidity issue, then the program basically stuck. Basically, the model didn't work anymore. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like the data I collected. I think I'm just really worried. I'm afraid that will be become like a review paper, even though I don't know if I, for example, I collect data for different domain, but I could just go to the paper and find the data that was listed, like the number of the prevalence, like how many people out of people. I don't know if that counts as a result as well, because I collect that and then we try to use the number I collected to run in the model to see if it can turn out into like a calculation to turn out to be like a smooth calculation in order for us to generate the number we need. But I think just like the process stuck here, it's just like it's not working, or it's still working. We're just trying to use that, and I don't know. We can't just keep fixing that because it's not gonna help in terms of writing my dissertation. I think that's what I'm really worrying about, because I think the whole project is like really behind the timeline already, and we're still waiting for to see if this model will wrong or not. I don't think that will make me finish my dissertation in time. So I don't know what's the solution for if that's the circumstance I'm facing, because it's more of like we need to this model to run in order to get the number we need and to do further calculation to see if that's a good approach towards the comobility. I think that's the main issue I'm facing right now. And yeah, I don't know if like just like the whole project is a little too broad for me to finish in a month or something. Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm offering here is a different project. Okay, it's a project where you are evaluating the method that you have used for your current project. Okay, so basically what I want you to do, or what I think you can do in the month that we still have ahead, is the project that evaluates the method that you have used for your project. So that means that what you will do is to basically kind of wear a different hat. So now you are not wearing the hat of the person running the project for SEM solution. Now you are the assessor of that project. Okay? So you are the person who has to analyze the first data that you collected, this number that you said that you collected, that you from that many number of papers, and then you put into the system. So you analyze how that process was done and if it was done accurately, how and efficiently, accurately and efficiently. Then once that this data is included in the formula or in the model that you guys have created, if the number was going to anticipate a good answer or not. And if they didn't, and the model actually didn't run, why do you think it didn't work out? You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's also the solution I'm thinking about. But like in terms of I think I just stuck at the methodology because it kind of like restructured it. I don't know if like I already started writing the like maybe like my introduction, and like the whole introduction was about like comobility. Can I still fit into this one? For example, I say like I found this and we have this approach and then we run it, but like at this point it just doesn't work, and I start to like my result become an analysis about like why this doesn't work. Can we just do that?
You can do that, but using a different point of view. I want you to stop being Newton here, and if you want, become MJ. I want you to try to see your project as if you were the assessor of the project. So you suddenly are not the student anymore. Now you are the assessor of the project that you have there. So obviously, you need to understand that the comorbidity is such an important parameter that the project requires, and then you introduce about that parameter and how important that parameter is. But then at the time of analyzing the results, you are not analyzing the results as how difficult it's been for the student to get or not the results. You will assess them as if you were me, like why this hasn't worked, what could we have done differently, if another student came to do a similar project, what potential solutions they could or what potential changes they should implement into the project for the project to be able to run, or for the model to be able to run. Does it make sense?
Yeah, but then in terms of the result I have, like I don't know what's the difference between your approach than my approach, because my storyline is kind of, I still started with the background and finding the because I think the math, like the approach they offer me, or like we kind of discussed that, it's not like what they already doing. It's like a new thing for them to do as well. So I don't know how can we just assess that if that's the case, because we kind of start thinking, oh, so this is important factor towards the comobility, and how can we add that into the consideration towards the comobility situations. Then we say, oh yeah, maybe we can use this because this affecting some factors of like what's important towards the quality of life and utility and then we use this questionnaire to mapping different source onto it, then see if that's a good approach and end up like actually running the data out. Because initially I asked them about the technical question, but they just saying, oh, don't worry about that. And because I also say like I really don't know much about to see if this model will run or not, and they say just don't worry about it, just focusing on collecting data, which is that what I do. But like right now it's like the data, like it's not running out the number, because maybe I thought like it's like as long as we put into the model, then the number will come out of it. But apparently there's some technical issue out from it, so I don't know like if that's the case, then how can I just explain my whole project out from it? I don't know if I can just say, oh, we start from here and then we till here, and then we run into this error, and this is what this error was about, and how can we fix it, and why we are having this error, and can we just explain that as like the whole topic? So like we still have the same aim of like fixing this problem, but like we run till the stage, and then we encounter this problem that during the process, and then what's the solution for this one in order to for this all idea to run further if we want to make improvement. I don't know if we can just settle down for like that as the result.
You can, but the difference in between that approach and the one that I'm suggesting here is that in my approach, you will be able to go to papers and to publications where they have used a similar approach to the one that you were intending in your project, and evaluate what those ones were working in comparison to why yours didn't work.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's very important, because that's going to give you extra material to complete the discussion.
But that's for the discussion part. I like just to say like, oh, this is what we have so far, and then what I think it's going wrong, and compared to the other, what can I improve this method or this approach? Is that what you mean for comparing it?
Yeah, exactly. So you will go and read articles where they have run projects similar to yours in a different field, but where they were analyzing also a lot of data, a lot of patient data, where they were also assessing if there was duplication or not, the comorbidity of the patients, blah, blah, but in a different field. It doesn't have to be exactly in the same field where you've been doing it, and analyzing why in those cases actually the project was successful in comparison to yours. What can we learn from the success of those projects for this project to be improved in the future? I'm not asking you to amend or to fix your current project. I'm not asking you to do that, because we are 1 month away from the submission. So, and actually the analysis period was finishing today. So I'm not, or initially finished today. I'm not asking you to keep fixing your current project. No. Leave the project as it is right now, with the good things and the bad things about the project. And then what you do is to become the assessor of what you got or not out of your project, and analyze why the model was working for some aspects and why the model wasn't working for some other aspects. And when it wasn't working, what can you learn from literature to make the project to work in the future? But it's not going to be you fixing the project. You are going to offer solutions for the next student who's going to do this project, will implement, and then they will be able to finish it. Does it make sense?
But in terms of methodology, I'm not sure how can I twist that if I already have like a methodology for what I'm doing for so far.
Very good. And then the last aspect of the methodology is going to be you critically evaluating the results that you have that the project has obtained, and how you are assessing those results, basically. So you don't need to change basically the methodology at all, because the only thing is that mostly towards the discussion, you are not going to try to explain the results that you have obtained. You are going to offer solutions and offer potential amendments to the current project for the project to run to be able to be run better in the future.
Okay, so basically, like my introduction and my methodology is still the same as what I'm working so far, but just at the discussion, I just don't explain. I just show the results of like running the model results and telling them, this is what I trying to run in the models, and we use this model because of in the methodology. Of course, I would say like why we use this model to try to run the number out, but like right now this number is not running out because, and then I in the discussion I'll explain like why this is not running out and maybe compare with other papers that have similar approach and saying like, oh, why what can we do to improve it, or what can we fix it to in order to continue this methodology I have already make. Is that
Can you tell me the aim of your project? What have you written in the dissertation as aim of your project?
Okay, just a minute. So initially, I was saying like to develop an evidence-based symptom center, like this symptom center quality of life estimation framework that can support mobility model in the national health model they have within the model they have.
Okay, so what I will suggest your new aim is evaluation of the development of blah blah model, blah 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 blah.
The evaluation. Okay.
Because now you are going to evaluate what you have done.
Yeah.
You see? So basically, you are placing yourself as if you were a consultant. You are a consultant. Imagine that you are a consultant that is in a company. And then you have a client who comes to you saying, this is the project I wanted to run, but I'm finding a lot of issues in trying to get my results. And I want you to help me to fix this. The consultant is not an analyst. Is not an analyst person. So the consultant is going to evaluate the project to see which ones are the strong points of the project, but mostly which ones are the weaknesses of the project, and offer potential solutions, potential amendments, potential corrections to the project as it's been run right now. And if the client implements those corrections, it's expected that the project will be able to run. But will be able to be successful. But that's not the consultant's responsibility. The consultant's responsibility is to assess the project that the client is bringing here. So until now, you've been the client, and you are facing this massive problem, and you don't know how to move forward. So I want you to change the role. Now I want you to become the consultant who's looking at this project and needs to offer solutions to the client.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, but I think I'm still worrying about the result. I don't have to change anything in the result, just showing like what we have done so far. And then
but you need to keep in mind that basically your project right now is behaving very much as a lab-based project where all the results are negative. So those dissertations, those projects are very good dissertations if actually the student is able to analyze critically why the experiments haven't worked. That's exactly what I want you to do with this particular project. So basically, imagine that you've been working in the lab with this particular project and you ended up having all negative results. So the student so your role as student is to basically explain all the results, even if they are negative or there are no results because the model is not working. You explain all what you have done, and then you need to then step out from the student role and become a consultant. Why it hasn't worked?
But like for
What
yeah.
improved? What can be improved? What can be changed? What different approach is necessary? I don't know what changes the project requires for all these negative results that we have obtained by using this approach can change into a positive approach, into positive results.
But like this will be in the discussion. But like, in the, I think I'm just really worried about like how I'm collecting the data. It just like, if I collecting data from the paper, it counts as literature review, or it just like it already counts as like I'm generating my own data out from it.
It doesn't count as literature review because you are creating your own set of data. A new set is a set of data that you have collected from secondary sources of information, which is very okay. But that data is analyzed for the first time collectively with other data coming from other papers in a unique way. And that's the uniqueness of your dissertation. That's why your dissertation is not a literature review. Okay. By collecting data from papers, your dissertation is not a literature review. You are just using data coming from other secondary sources of information to create your own database and to analyze that database as you wish. Okay. That's not a literature review.
Okay. So, okay, I kind of get it. So, like, instead of like trying to make this work, I just twist it to say like, okay, this is what we've done so far, and we can start to evaluate what can we improve it and how can we explain the result and what compared to others, what can we do, and that's whole like about like my discussions, right? That's kind of
yes. Okay. Yes, but again, the aim of the project changes. Now it's not anymore developing something. Now it's evaluating the development of something. Okay. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Oh, I was
in the introduction, you can also talk about how good the R method is in order to analyze large databases, blah, blah. But also you can explain about situations where actually R is far too inefficient to provide an answer, to provide with an answer, to give an answer. So in that case, you are already introducing in the dissertation that R is not the solution for all the analysis, because definitely it wasn't in your case.
Okay.
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, so but okay, just let me check for the methodology part. Do I just still stating like how we run this project, or I have to say evaluate it? Because like if that's the because I thought like in my methodology I would have to explain like how this whole process was been decided and how we push forward to now. But like if we're changing our topic to evaluate it, like do I have to change that part as well to say like because I think I still have to explain how we come up with this results, right? And then that'll be the methodology, or that won't be the methodology. Then my methodology. Does my question make sense in here?
It does make sense, and I think you can keep it as it is if you at the beginning say that actually what you are going to do is to evaluate the processes or the methods that you are explaining later by making a comparison to the results or the methodology used in this particular project with methodology used in other projects described in literature or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does it make sense?
So, I think I just want to ensure what I have to twist now in terms of like what I initially thought I have to do in terms of like how I change it to evaluate it. So we come up with this result, and in the result, what should I present besides the data I present? The data I collected, I say like, oh, I collecting this because, and why I choose this number out from it. I think that's what I describe in the results, and then
what I recommend you is to write a results and discussion section combined. So when you are explaining your results, you explain the results and then you apply the critical point of view on the results that you have obtained.
Okay.
Then you explain a different set of the results. Then you apply the critical thinking and the critical evaluation with a comparison with whatever is in already published, blah, blah. Another set of results, another critical evaluation. Like this, like if it was a sandwich, basically, right? So result, critical evaluation, result, critical evaluation, result, critical evaluation. And towards the end, you put together all your critical evaluation as if they were learning points for future work, improvements for this project for the future.
Yeah. So do I have to do like in terms of like analysis this data? It's more of like the approach we can do, but like it will be like so we do this approach and I compare this to what other have done to similar stuff, but like the discussion would just be like looking from this, maybe I should twist my project this part to collecting other stuff instead of collecting this way. Is that what we have to do for now to in terms of like discussion, so that compare this whole project to something similar, and because I think the problem is I don't know if like is something similar have done in exactly the same approach that I'm doing right now. So that's the new like approach we're trying to do, and then if we're gonna discuss that, do I just say like, oh, because this is like a new approach we're trying, and then we can't run it in the model, like it's not working, then I saw this other paper saying this approach. What was the difference?
I mean, to be 100% honest with you, you don't need to include that approach in the methodology if you don't want to, because that's anyway what discussion should look like. So it's expected that that's what you are going to do. What you do need to explain in the dissertation, in the aims mostly, and potentially a little bit in the methodology, is that the project is not going to be all about the development of this method. The project is about the evaluation of the development of this process, of this method.
Okay, got it. Okay, anxiety.
So do you think that this approach is an approach that will be helpful for you?
I think so, because I think I keep telling them I was running out of the time, but they still processing all the data, and I just keep saying like, oh, we are way like behind the schedule. But when I discussed my concern with them, they're just like, oh, don't worry about that, I will do the data for you. But right now we start to encounter difficulty of the data, and I was like, I can't keep waiting for the data to come out, and so that's why I'm so worried, because I don't know, like, because I'm expecting this result to come out to write my dissertation. If that's not, and how can I fix that? And can I just tell them like, oh, okay, we just stop here right now, and I need to do the discussion and all that? Because
definitely, yeah, definitely. They know that from today the relationship in between the student and the company will continue only on a volunteer basis from the student. My advice is, as you said, you need to be focused on your dissertation. You need to stop thinking about fixing issues of the project. Now you need to be focused on writing your dissertation. And your dissertation is basically going to take a different approach to the one that they initially suggested, basically because their approach didn't work and they didn't offer you solutions. So because they didn't help you with the approach or to offer solutions, your dissertation aim is changing. So now it's not developing a model or a method. Now is the evaluation of the development of that method. That's an approach that may be useful for some solutions. So in that case, they can learn from this experience in the future. But definitely they are not getting from you the results that they initially wanted to get, but because they didn't offer the solutions to the problems you were facing with your method.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, because I think that's what I'm writing about the method is like, do I have to state that in my method, or I just still saying like this is the method we approach, then we just change the analysis. I think I just want to ensure like what should I change more towards that, because I have like kind of halfway decided like I'm just gonna evaluate the results that I have so far, and that will be like the whole stuff, and I just changed my topic and I'm instead of like, because I think in I'm I just say it more in general because at the time I write my I'm and objective, I don't know like if this model works. I just expect it in my work. So I think in an objective I just say like to improve the co-mobility aspect of their model. That's the objective. So it kind of still matches, but like I don't know if that's the case. Do I have to change the whole thing into just instead of like developing this, I just say evaluate what I've developed so far.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Is this helping you?
Huh?
Is this new approach helping you?
Yeah, I think that's also like the solution I've thought about it, because I keep saying that, but like they kind of say that, oh no, don't worry about it, we will have the result out. But like I was saying like I can't.
Them. Far too late. Forget about them. Okay, now you need to be super selfish and be fully focused on your own project, or on your own dissertation. Sorry. Okay.
And I have another question towards the late summer assessment.
I have another meeting, so quickly, please.
Yeah. So just one question, because I have exam for late summer assessment, but because I have debit, and I'm just wondering if I debit, but like unfortunately I didn't pass my first attempt, then I have to resist the test, but like it means like I will resist the test like after our course was end. I don't know how that works.
I don't get you. So what? So you have two different modules, one that was dubbed and another one that was failed.
So I have like exams. I didn't do the exam at first attempt. Like I deferred it to the late summer assessment, and I don't know like if I fail like my first exam, like first attempt of the exam, because I asked the office, they say I still can resist the test if I didn't success at my first attempt. But like the question is like then the second times it's like after September basically. This next exam I can attempt is it's not like before September. Then I'm just wondering how would that work? Do I have to pay like extra tuition in order?
I'm really not understanding what's going on here. So how did you dub an exam that then you have failed? So you didn't dub it. You have sat the exam.
No. Like for example, for the modern aspect, the modern MADD exam, I didn't attempt the MADD exam because I defer it, because I can't.
Yeah.
I didn't do it on March in May. So it will be rescheduled to the late summer assessment. I was just wondering if I didn't pass it in the late summer assessment, like in the worst case if I didn't pass it.
Okay. Yes, exactly. So if you don't pass it in the late summer assessment, you will need to sit the exam in the next academic year. Yes.
Yeah, but like, do I have to pay extra tuition for that? Because like, I already
No.
no. It just
No.
means like I have to wait longer to get my diploma, basically.
Yes, you will need to wait until the next academic year. Yes.
So if I failed the MADD one, like I have to resist the test, then
in the next academic year. Yes.
different academic years. Well, okay, so then like after that, then I will receive the like when will I receive the diploma? Then I have to wait till next
in
September.
November 28.
In next November.
November 28.
November 20. Well, like it will be like next year.
So if you pass the exam in the late summer assessment, you will get your diploma in November 26. If you don't pass but then you will have the graduation ceremony in September 27. If you don't pass the exam, you will need to receive the exam in April 26. So if you pass, then you will get your diploma in November 27. But the graduation will be in September 28.
So if I have to resist the MADD for next academic year at May or April, then I will get my diploma at September.
No, in November 27, but the graduation will happen in September 28.
September 28. So, but like if like my student visa doesn't last till then I just come back to attend the test and then wait for the results.
That's something that the teaching and learning team has to answer for you. I don't know the answer for that.
Okay. Okay.
I really need to go to another meeting. I'm already almost 10 minutes late for my next meeting.
Sorry, that's...
But as to the teaching and learning team, sop.gt@ac or ucl.ac.uk, they are the ones who can give you the full picture. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, good luck.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.